o'clock.
Here we go. We're live.
Yeah,
Two
boy.
lives in 2 nights after not doing it at all. I'm like fucking out there now, mate.
All over it. All the gear.
Yeah, and Etham Yates, you are the only person to appear on this podcast, other than me and Tori, twice. So it's quite a prestigious moment, this.
I'm
so-
impressed to see how bad I am at socials as well.
Well, that's it, mate. We're helping each other here. It's good. So just to provide context to anyone tuning in or anyone watching it after, I'm going to be reviewing the Open each week for the next 3 weeks. And when I say reviewing it, we're not like going to go down the leaderboard and look at all the top dogs. We'll leave that to the professionals like that appear on the podcast in the space. We're doing it more from a local level. Ethan's obviously going to talk about his gym, and then I've got Matt Tyler next week to talk about where he's been doing it, and then finishing off with Elliot Turner from the project. So it's more of we're calling it an open review, but it's an open review at our level as opposed to looking at what ridiculous scores people like Colton Mertens have got on that, because there's rumours he broke the score sheet, so can't wait to see that score go in. So, Friday Night Lights, mate. So the Open gets announced on Thursday. You look at the workout, and what are your first thoughts when you look at it, thinking about like how to plan it in the gym, or from a workout point of view at first? What did you think?
First one that gets through my head is gym layout.
Yeah.
Straight away, when it got announced, I was in the gym trying to orientate the gym, work out how many lanes I can have, how many people I can facilitate at once. I taped out the gym in 2 different ways, and then it come down to how many judges I've got. And then after the first night, I've worked out how many people. Then it's getting the heats out for the members. It's just all the boring logistic stuff. So I don't really get excited about the workout. I'm more thinking about, from a coach's point of view, how do I get all these members through in a reasonable time without trying to turn it into a sausage factory.
So how many people would do the class on or come in for Friday Night Lights?
Well, I think we've got about 70 signed up for the Open in total. So I facilitated for about 50. I thought I'm not going to get all 70 through, so I decided to have heats of 7, and that worked quite well. We've got all the dumbbells we needed. It was relatively easy to lay out, luckily. So the first night was just me taping the floor up to make it look. I like to try and give them that sort of, make it a bit more special rather than just here's a dumbbell, here's a space. Everyone had lines, everyone had lanes, just to try and, again, sprinkle a little bit of gold dust over it. So it's not just the open workout. They go in and it looks different, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's not like they just come into a class. It's actually going to feel a bit different. They've signed up, they're enjoying, they're engaged in the moment. So you're kind of just adding to that experience for them, aren't you?
Yeah, so again, with that, and then like barrier covers go out again just to try and participate, just so there's kids running around. We've got dogs at our gym. So again, it's just to try and make sure everyone knows where they can and can't go. And just try and make it feel that little bit special, because everyone puts this hype on about the Open. But then if you just run it as a normal class, personally, I feel like, well, yeah, it is good because of the worldwide leaderboard, but then what makes it special within your gym? Like, what difference is it?
Yeah, what do you think you guys did then to go above and beyond? Because I saw a disco ball. What's the story with that?
Well, obviously, when I'm in charge of the budget and I want my sweets, I get my sweets. So yeah, we've got some new toys at the gym. We've got some motorized disco lights, just for these occasions, Friday Night Lights, the competitions that we want to start holding at 17. We do other like little community events, pizza and plates. So I thought, well, no time like the present to, again, invest in something to make these nights a little bit better. So yeah, along with the motorized lights, we also do something that's more overarching. We do, we've got a bingo card. And on this bingo card, there's numerous things. Not a lot of it is actually to do with the actual Open. We just use the Open to get a buy-in from the members. So I'll give you a quick rundown of how it works. If you sign up to the Open, let's say we've got 40 people, 4 teams of 10, they'll all be put into a team, and then that team have to try and complete the bingo card as quickly as possible. Some of the things on the bingo card are like get judging points. So if you judge someone, you get a point. Come in fancy dress, that's another one. So you've got to do one of the opens in fancy dress. That's always good.
Wearing the Defiant was one, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've got that is one of them. They've got to have pictures or create a reel for Defiant. What ones are on there? They've got to bring baked goods. So a lot of the stuff on the bingo card is nothing to actually do with the open. So they can still win the bingo for their team without actually being good. Obviously, you've got to tip your hat to the people that are good. So finishing top 5 in the gym, you get a point on a bingo card. If you unlock a new skill, that's another bingo. That's another point. Yeah, but we just use the time of the open to do this bigger community event. And then before you know it, you get all these people coming out of the woodwork, socializing with people from different classes that they don't normally see. Yeah, so that's how we kind of operate it at 17.
So what do you, if you win the bingo, what do you get? Is it just the prestige or do they get something?
There's bragging rights. To be honest, that's still up for grabs. Last year it was smaller prizes because the teams were quite big. So I need to have a word with the other boss that wears a dress that keeps me in check. And yeah, because to be fair, Sophie, the wife,
the real boss,
she's the person that tends to, I would say, deal with all the community events. I do all the serious, boring stuff, and Sophie's the one that comes up with these weird and wonderful ideas to get the community together. So in regards to rewards, I'm not even too sure. I know we have some stuff like Judgiest Judge. They will get something. Spirit of the Open, they will get something. But in the grand scheme of things, a lot of people aren't really doing it to get given something. It is more just bragging rights in the gym, hopefully. Or they're going to be upset.
From a workout point of view, then, you know, for the first workout, do you like this kind of one being announced that's like pretty much all accessible for everyone? There's no reason people can't do it. Do you think that sort of helps generate interest within the gym?
Yeah, 100%. There was a few people that signed up after they saw the workout. So I know full well that they only signed up because they thought, actually, I can do that. So again, it does get that bigger buy-in. And along with that, it just proves to people that regardless of ability, you can still do the open. Because a lot of people think, I'm not good enough for the open. I'm like, you are, just sign up. We'll get you through it. So when they see this as the first workout, at least we've got them hooked now. Whether they complete all 3 workouts, we don't know. But if the first workout had ring muscle ups in, then they're already going to tap out and are no longer interested.
Yeah. What did you think of the actual workout itself then? So obviously when you see it, the first thing you do, your mind goes to logistics. How do I make the gym look good? How do I get people through the heats? But then when you've sort of figured all that out and you can actually think about the workout from a coach point of view, obviously you'll have your sort of preferences in programming and such like that. But what did you actually think of the workout itself?
For me, I thought, like a lot of people did, it was a burpee workout. Not saying I'm a great athlete, but I thought a 22.5 kilo dumbbell, I thought, oh, great. I can throw that around, no dramas. So I just set my mind personally on let's go to war with these burpees. Get yourself ready to get up, get down. And that's where, if you're going to rest, I thought that's where the rest is going to happen. Because you know what burpees like, when you're on the floor, you've got that decision. Do I stay down here or do I get back up? And you've got that opportunity many a times. Whereas when you've got a dumbbell in your hand, it's a little bit easier just to try and go with emotion. Where every time you do a burpee, you've got to make that decision to get back up off the floor. So personally, I just was thinking to myself, right, don't let these burpees beat you. And that is what I told most people, just to try and, again, keep yourself moving. The dumbbell's easy to keep moving. The dumbbell the dumbbells easy to keep moving. The burpees, you just want to try and get at a pace that's not going to make you want to stop.
What did you suggest for the dumbbells in terms of like cadence and sort of how many reps on each arm and such? Like, did you recommend anything, or did it depend? I guess it depended on the athlete, I guess.
It did, but personally, I said go as long as you can on one arm, because if you go as long as you can on one arm, the other arm's going to be resting. If you alternate arms evenly, they're both going to get tired the same. So I said go as long as you can on one arm, then go on the other arm, and then hopefully by the time you finish on that arm, the other arm can do a bit more. That was my logic anyway. Rather than
what can you remember what you did then? How many did you do on your right before you moved?
I think I did the 3, 6, and the 9 all on my right arm, and then it was literally, if I could feel myself, if the movement wasn't great, if I felt myself going out of rhythm, I would just change. So before I got tired, I would then change. Sometimes I did one, then the other, chopped and changed on the move. But I just, if it felt good, I would stay on the arm. As soon as it felt bad, I would then change.
What score did you get again?
I got 279.
So what's that? That's in the 27s, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like 20 of the 27
of the clean and jerks.
Of the dumbbell clean and jerk. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think? Like, if you had a chance to do it again, would you improve on that, or do you think that were pretty much where you are?
Personally, like, I wanted 300. Don't know why. I just pulled a number out the air and I thought 300 looks like a good number. Not really even looking at a leaderboard. But then, so I went in trying to hit that number. Went out at a good pace. I don't think I slowed down at all. I just wasn't going fast enough. So at no point did I stop. No point did I have a nightmare. My cycle speed just wasn't fast enough. So if I went again, but also I couldn't have gone faster because I got told by some people, like, right, the workout starts at 18. So I thought, right, now I'm in the workout, now let's go. And I couldn't. The pace I started at was the pace I stayed, but then I also stepped in every burpee. And then when I tried to jump, I just didn't know how. It was just a step in, jump over. And I just thought, right, this is you. Strap yourself in.
Yeah, it's interesting because I've done it twice. I felt like the 369, you had to go almost as fast as humanly possible, then settle in a little so you didn't completely gas out for the 12, 15, 18. And then because that were going to be start to get to the latter end of the workout, for me, it was then a case of, right, what can you do now? But I think that, and I went really fast on my redo, like way faster than I should have, but then managed to cling on because it was a free hit for me because I was happy with my first score. So when I did it again, it was like, there was no pressure. It was just kind of, can I go better? And I did it at Cider Elliott from our gym. So I had someone to chase, like, so it was good.
But that was it. You said you went out hot, but again, I think a problem with the open workouts is transitions. I don't think people understand how much time's wasted in transitions. And like you said, the 3, 6, and the 9, even though you said you went out hot, it was just a comfortable pace. I can imagine, because people look like they're moving fast, but like if you tell them to slow down, you're like, why? I'm fine. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like, and again, I said, just go. If you feel good, push. Like, you're gonna set into a pace eventually. You know it's gonna hurt, and I'm like, let's get to that place, and then find out where you are.
Yeah, and it's one of them, isn't it? Like the challenge with that when you don't know yourself that well is everything feels all right until it doesn't, and then you're fucked.
And that's it again. Like a lot of our new members, I did it for the first time. Which is part of the reason why I enjoy Fighting Like Light so much, seeing all the newer members drop in and actually, the ones that were scared to do it, they are the ones that are funny to watch because they're the ones that go out hot and they don't know what to do. And all of a sudden you can see them like minute 7, like everyone just stops moving in the gym because they've all just like dying a death. But then when you see them again overcome that little hurdle, then they obviously find their pace. But it is funny. It happens in most workouts. Like, I can almost look around the gym and you just see everyone slow down at a certain point, and then they finally settle down into the workout.
But that's good. I guess they're stopping just in time at that, aren't they? Because we know what it's like when you cross that red line too early, like you can in workouts like this. And then it's just like every minute's like an hour, and you get nowhere. You can't pick your son up off the floor, and it's brutal.
Like when you see some people like looking at the clock 3 minutes in, it's like you said, you did the 3, 6, and a 9. I bet you did those in what, like 3 minutes? Like not even that.
Mate. Yeah, that's it would be like, I think I'd done the 12s by the minute, by the 3 minutes. So yeah,
that's what I mean. And you look at the clock and you think you're absolutely flying, and you're like, mate, you've still got 12 more minutes. Like you get ready.
Yeah. So like from a performance point of view, then you said like you had 300 in your head, you just picked that number out there. When I was chatting to Pedro last night about the Open, and he was basically saying that he thinks that whatever his score is will be a good reflection of his fitness. And I know that sounds like cliched to say, but do you think your score is a good reflection of your fitness, or if you went again, would you improve it?
No, I said when I did it, I couldn't go any faster. I gave it, I mean, give or take 3 or 4%, maybe. But I wouldn't get 300. I gave it all I could at the moment. I was telling myself, go faster. At every given point, I'm like, give it what you can give. This is the workout. It's competition. Like there's training and competing. That was definitely competition pace for me. And I had nothing else to give. So I wouldn't even think about. I don't like doing workouts twice anyway, unless it is a test or a retest. But yeah, I don't deserve 300 personally, because when I look at the leaderboard and the people that were hitting 300 and my training over the last 6 months, it has died off a little bit. So it's like, well, great. Maybe once upon a time, looking at that workout, that's what I would have got. But definitely not with the way training's dropped off over the last fair few months.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. And the only reason I redid it today is because after today, like it all goes downhill for me. Because as soon as a moderately heavy barbell or any form of skill comes up, it's over for me. I'm back to scaling. So I'm gonna have one more glorious moment on this burpee workout. And so, go on, mate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but going again, like how much did you improve by?
Like 24 reps.
Yeah, so but that's like how many spaces was that? I bet it's a couple of thousand maybe.
No, I haven't put my score in yet. Like I haven't put it in, but yeah, you'd imagine it'd be a pretty decent jump.
That's what I mean. So again, like each rep is worth going again. So I mean, if you can be bothered and you know you can get better. And I said to someone, redid it today at 17. I says, have you trained today? No. So if you don't get a better score, it's just your session for today. If you do get a better score, awesome, it's been worth redoing it. And I says, if you don't do this, you go do another workout. Well, yeah, well, you might as well do the workout again if it's bugging you. And then, like you said, go out hot, do something silly. If it pays off, you win. And if it doesn't, you've had a good workout. Well,
yeah, it's one of them. This kind of grunt workout like this, yeah, regardless of whether you improve your score or not, you definitely get fitter by doing it again, don't you? So, yeah. So back to 17 then, mate. So what were is there anyone you could call out as sort of standout performance in terms of just, it doesn't necessarily have to be like the most reps, but just in terms of like what they've done over the course of the workout?
I wouldn't say there's a standout individual, but personally, like I enjoy seeing people come up and develop. And last year we had quite a few new people join in and around April time towards summertime through Bring a Friend Week that we do. And I would say pretty much all of them, most of them were females as well. All of them, like some of them never been in a gym before, some of them anxious, some of them wanted PT before they joined the class. And if you said to me last year, these will all be doing the Open now, I'd be like, they're not even going to be members now. Like personally, I'd be like, and it's like to see some of these come through like their journey that they've done and perform the way they have in the open, I think's been incredible. And that's part of the reason why we do it, to bring like the community together, to bring these people that didn't know what they're capable of, and now all of a sudden, and some of them got some really good scores. And what I like about it even more is that the fact that they start making some of the more senior members sweat. So some of the members that have been there for a while, all of a sudden, they're now thinking, how did they get that? And with that workout, which is just conditioning, there's not a lot of skill in it. I'm like, don't worry, the leaderboard will rewrite itself as soon as they bring toes to bars in and barbell cycling. Like, your name will go back in lights, don't worry. But I feel like it gives them their moment of being, actually, I can do this thing, and I am just as fit as everyone else. I just haven't got the skill that they've got yet. And personally, you don't deserve that skill if you've only been doing CrossFit for 6 months. Like, you're going to get the skill eventually. But what you have got is that level of conditioning. So again, and I do enjoy seeing, those like people doing the open, especially that have been at the box for less than a year.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's pissed me off about everyone sort of making this big song and dance about not doing the open. Like, if you don't want to do it for whatever reasons you've got, because obviously the CrossFit space is quite fractured at the moment, then I think just don't do it. But don't discourage other people from doing it, because that's the stuff that matters. That stuff you're talking about there at the affiliate level, where people that didn't even do CrossFit a year ago are now doing the open and doing stuff they never thought they could do. And that's like good for people and communities and the local areas to have a place where people can go and get better, feel better, be around people. So that's what pisses me off about discouraging. I don't care whether people have got a bad opinion or a good opinion of CrossFit Inc. But if you're going to fucking like shit on the affiliates by discouraging people from going and doing the open and trying to get better, then I just think, I don't know, it's virtue signaling in the worst possible way, because you're not even virtuous. You're just discouraging people from doing a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I say it all the time, I don't understand people that do the open workouts but don't sign up to it, because, like, well, you're clearly saying that the open is good, you're going to go to a party, but you're not going to pay to go in. Do you know what I mean? You're still gonna, and it's just like, no, if you ain't paid, you're not coming in, sort of thing, but you're still going to enjoy it from the outside. It's like, don't be an idiot. And it's like when I work the doors, and it's very similar.
Say, you sound like the door.
And I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, yeah, you want to just pay and go inside and have a good time. Why are you loitering outside? And I do, and even now, I've seen some comments on Instagram with people saying that I'll do the workout with the community, but I'm not paying CrossFit. And I'm just like, well, they're hosting the party, and you've just said you're going to go to the party with your affiliate. So just because you don't like the event organizers, why are you not going to? Do you know what I mean? It does blow minds. And again, I do get a bit passionate about it. It is annoying, very annoying. But like you said, when you're in the party and you're doing it, it's great. And do I really care if I've had to pay £15 to someone I potentially don't like? No, I'm not asked, because in the party we were having a good time, and I would happily pay more than that to have that time with the members.
Yeah, I completely agree, mate. And I love what you guys do. Like, I think it's absolutely brilliant, because I attended one last year, one of the Friday night lights at your gaff, and I've just from the socials, it's got bigger and better this year. So I absolutely love what you're doing there, mate, and look forward to seeing more of it. So before we roll off, what do we think for next week? Have you got any predictions about what we might see?
Absolutely not. I know there's going to be a repeat.
It's a repeat after 2020, isn't it? They said.
Yeah. So there's only one workout that I don't want to see, and that's the double under and wall walk workout. So the incremental wall walk. I think the wall walk was
19.1.
Was it? No, I don't know when it was. Was it 19? Was it that long ago?
Maybe 20.1. When it the one in lockdown?
I genuinely can't. But I know that if that workout come up, I potentially wouldn't do it. That was I absolutely hated it. Yeah, Soph made a reel of me doing it, and the backing music was "It's a Hard Knock Life," and it's just me falling off the wall, throwing my skipping rope on the floor, just sat on the floor, just having an awful time.
I might have to come to 17 if it's that then, mate, and come and watch that live.
Honestly, that was genuinely. Obviously, everyone knows I've got massive issues trying to do overhead stuff and wall walks, handstand walks. So I think I got to like a set of 18 wall walks, and that clock couldn't go fast enough. Absolutely hated it. But since then, I don't think there's been any awful workouts. I mean, I would love something that plays to my strengths: a deadlift, wall ball, rowing. You know, more than happy with those sort of stuff. But I try not to think too much so I can't get disappointed.
Yeah, I reckon they've got a lot to get in these 2 weeks, because although I love this workout, if people like me can do reasonably well, there are people way fitter than me that are going to do well in this that have no skill. And with it being like, you know, just going direct to set qualifying for semis from this, they've got a lot to get in. So I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a two-part. I feel like it's got to be a lift and a high skill in one, and then some more skills and moderately heavy cycling in another, because otherwise they're just going to end up with people that are going to get filled in by the time they get there.
Absolutely. And this is what I say. I've said this to all the members. I'm going like, they need to rewrite the leaderboard. How they do it, I'm sure they've got a plan. But there wasn't a heavy barbell last year, was there?
No, but then I think last year's different because it only went to quarters, didn't it? And then it can wean everyone out through quarters.
But so you're right. But I mean, but it only takes a couple. You know, chuck a few handstand press ups in there, a few ring muscle ups, a heavy, like it's a heavy barbell. Like, only takes one element to rewrite the leaderboard, and then all of a sudden, see you never. I'm back down where I belong.
Yeah, but mate, you just talked to me there, because I remember last year buzzing with that first one. It was burpee and dumbbell snatch. Next one, double unders. I was back to scaled. I had a great workout there in that second one. It was lovely. Single unders, light deadlift and rowing.
But then a quick one. Have you got double unders in any respect?
No. Like, I've seen people do them, if that counts. So basically, my story with double unders is I have zero fucking patience. So when I first started CrossFit, it was before Project moved to the new gym. This is how long ago it was. And I did them for tried to do them for about 3 months. Probably not even that. Didn't get them. And I was like, you know what? The stress of this is just not fucking worth it. I'm not going to games. I'm not going to ever be an RX athlete at competitions. So I just chinned it there and then. And I've never tried since. Like, I just made my peace with it, because I'm not bothered about like wanting to tick RX in every workout. I just want to get fitter. And now I'm that good at single unders. Whenever I have to do single unders, I get fucked because I'm doing them too fast. So they rest. So that's my double under story, mate. I think you could say I just shit out, but I'm totally okay with not being able to do them. So I didn't need this. I didn't need the negativity in my life, to be honest.
Okay, so let's say if a workout had an RX workout had double unders at the end, would you do it as RX and then just cap it at the double unders, or would you then do the workout scaled and motor through it for rounds and reps or whatever?
I'd do it as scaled and just get a good workout, because I don't like it when people do that just because they want to tick RX. They'll be like, they can't. It came up, I don't know if it's last year or the year before, and I remember digging people out at our gym because they couldn't do muscle ups. So the plan was to get to the muscle ups and then do nothing. And I'm like, well, that's like only halfway through the workout. So I think that's an ego thing in wanting to be RX. Don't get me wrong, if you're on the cusp of getting muscle ups, maybe go for it, and you might get one with all that energy and that motivation in the open. But if you haven't even practiced the skill and you're nowhere near, then do the workout to your level and just accept that that's where you are. And I would always do that, because like I said to you a minute ago, that workout last year that had the double unders in, because I couldn't do them and I did singles and the deadlift weight became lighter because the scale obviously scaled everything. That was it was a great workout, but a terrible 18 minutes or whatever it were, because I had no reason to stop. So I got a great workout, which reflected my skill level, and I'm okay with that. And I think the only people that aren't are people that have got their egos are too big and they just want to be RX.
But then also with the Community Cup, the way they're doing the Community Cup this year, I feel like that could catch a few people out, because like, you're going to go up against everyone at your level. So if for some reason you score higher because you've decided to RX every workout but not get very far, and everyone that's scaled is now below you, but it's like you said, you're clearly fitter than some RX athletes. You just haven't got the skill. So now, does that make sense? So now, when they go into these workouts against everyone else at their level, that's when they're going to get found out.
Yeah. So what do you reckon I should do then? You reckon I should RX and then just stay so that my community cup
Oh, absolutely not. No, but
No.
personally, I feel like there should be a minimum work requirement. So if it is muscle ups, you have to do at least 5. So we know so they know it's not a cuff. That's what I think they should be, a minimum work requirement, and that way, again, it will just make sense. What it will also do is mean that one person that does get that one muscle up doesn't overtake 6,000 people, because you know, when you get to that one skill where like everyone gets there and then everyone gets there, but then if you get one rep, you overtake so many people, and it's not a true reflection of the actual leaderboard until you get like well beyond that skill level, and then obviously up into the higher numbers.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I think it's one of them, isn't it? Because everyone hosts like mini comps at their gym. It's like people start being like strategic and thinking, right, well, I want to make sure I get the highest points, because that's how it works at Project. We're all in teams, and if you RX the workout, you automatically finish above anyone that didn't. But last year there wasn't a minimum work requirement, so like that's when I was saying I dug people out of it. Whereas I don't know if they'll change it this year, because like you said, and I think they should be all the way up to the games, because even at the games people are getting exposed for stuff they can't do. And I remember in the early days, Castro just used to like boot people out, didn't he? If you couldn't do this, you were just disqualified, you were gone. And that's how it should be. It's like, if you're at that level anyway, I'm not talking about the affiliate level when we're all trying to have fun on a Friday night, but at that elite level, if you haven't put the time in that everybody else around you has, you should not be finishing above them on anything if you've not completed a minimum set of work.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like I said, but going back to how you said, like at the affiliate level, like I would rather do it as points. So every rep's a point. That way, great. If you want to RX it and get capped at 100 reps because the 101st rep's a muscle up, and then you get those that are scaling it, and then they're going to pull-ups, at least they're getting more points for their team, sort of thing. And that way it's going to encourage certain members to do it for the team in-house rather than the global leaderboard. But again, it all depends on, like you said, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, as long as everyone's together, everyone's training and having a good time. It's just a bit disheartening, like you said, when people, I would say like yourself, sending it sideways, you know, getting the stimulus of the workout, and then you've got someone next to you that does 5 reps and then finishes above you on the leaderboard because they decided to use a heavier dumbbell. But again, that's down to, you know, I don't really know. You're never going to stamp that out unless they bring some sort of ruling.
Yeah. But right, so before we close, mate, any message for your members before we close out?
No, I didn't wasn't expecting that message. No, it's just it's good to see him. I'm quite vocal on the community page, and yeah, they all know that I was super impressed with the atmosphere Friday night, and like you said, just the effort that goes in behind the scenes, just to make those nights special. I personally think it's good to see, and also just that self-belief, especially in, like you said, the newer members that are coming through. That's what really like made the night for me, seeing the new members get amongst it and still finish with a smile and that sense of relief, because everyone gets stressed. Some people, you know, are sick and all sorts, and then when they finish it, they're like, actually, I kind of enjoyed that. And that's when, you know, like they've really got that CrossFit, like that's it. You're not going nowhere anytime soon.
You drank the Kool-Aid, you're in.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, you ain't going nowhere. And then, like, yeah, when they get in the buy into, again, it's just a community, like buy into the actual bingo. Does it mean anything? Absolutely not. You know, name goes up in stars for a couple of weeks until the next thing comes along. But yeah, that's That's what I say. It's just the community getting stronger, and I feel like, you know, this time of year it is probably for us, you know, probably the biggest community event. It was the longest community event that we do, that probably most gyms do. So again, it is nice just seeing everyone on a Friday night. They bring their parents, friends, dogs, kids. The gym's just buzzing with people that I didn't even recognize. I'm like, who are you? But again, it's just just a good time of year for me anyway, as the affiliate owner.
Yeah, that's quality, mate. And I think like it's clear, like with the effort you go to for them, like how much it means to you for them to have a great time. So hats off to you, mate. You've done a cracking job, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it all pans out. Let's get some wall walks in 25.2.
Absolutely not right. Take it easy.
Cheers, mate.
Right.